Fair use. Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. June 8th. Opening up to change. Self-searching is the means by which we bring a new vision, action, and grace to bear upon the dark and negative side of our natures. With it comes the development of that kind of humility that makes it possible for us to receive God's help. We find that bit by bit we can discard the old life, the one that did not work, for a new life that can and does work under any conditions whatever. As Bill sees it, page 10 through 8. I have been given a daily reprieve contingent upon my spiritual condition, provided I seek progress, not perfection. To become ready for change, I practice willingness, opening myself to possibilities of change. If I realize there are defects that hinder my usefulness in AA and toward others, I become ready by meditating and receiving direction. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 58. To let go and let God, I need only surrender my old ways to Him. I no longer fight, nor do I try to control, but simply believe that with God's help, I am changed, and affirming this belief makes me ready. I empty myself to be full of awareness, light, and love, and I am ready to face each day with hope. Courage to Change, One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, June 8. Step 6 speaks of being entirely ready to have God remove all my defects of character. Yet I find that I often cling to my defects because they give me a certain amount of pleasure. What defects could possibly give me pleasure? Revenge, for one. I spend lots of time creating mental scenarios in which I punish those who have hurt me. I also get a great deal of enjoyment from thinking that I am never wrong. In other words, I cling to my pride. Yet these characteristics are defects that get in the way of living the kind of life I want to live and prevent me from treating myself and others with love and respect. There is abundant reason to let them go, but to do so, I have to become willing to lose the enjoyment they sometimes deliver. My recovery will have a giant void as long as I am unwilling to give up my shortcomings. If I want healing, I must turn over my will, my life, and my character defects to God. Today's reminder: are the small temporary pleasures I get from my defects of character worth the price I'm paying to keep them? If not, I may be entirely ready to let some of them go today. There's a quote from The Dilemma of the Alcoholic Marriage, and it reads, I know that help is waiting only for my acceptance, waiting for me to say, not my will, but thine be done. Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts, June 8. The only requirement. This program offers hope. All you have to bring with you is the desire to stop using and the willingness to try this new way of life. IP number 16 for the newcomer. From time to time, we wonder if we're doing it right in Narcotics Anonymous. Are we attending enough meetings? Are we using our sponsor or working the steps, or speaking or reading or living the right way? We value the fellowship of recovering addicts. We don't know what we'd do without it. What if the way we're practicing our program is wrong? Does that make us bad NA members? We can settle our insecurities by reviewing our third tradition, which assures us that the only requirement for membership is a desire to stop using. There aren't any rules that say we've got to attend this many meetings or these particular meetings or work these steps this way at this pace or live our lives to suit these people in order to remain NA members in good standing. It's true that if we want the kind of recovery we see in members we respect, we'll want to practice the kind of program that's made their recovery possible. But NA is a fellowship of freedom. We work the program the best way for us, not for someone else. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop using. Just for today, I will look at the program I'm working in light of my own recovery. I will practice that program to the best of my ability. Today, Emotions Anonymous, June 8. Reflection for today. I used to think I had to make everything perfect for my children. If they were given too much homework, I felt I should say something to the teacher. If my child did not play as many innings in a baseball game as I thought he should, I figured it was my responsibility to let that coach know how unjust I thought he was and try to change him. I cannot make life perfect for my children or for me for that matter. It helps to try and determine how important the situation is. There really are not that many cases I have discovered which are important. However, at the time, I often think it is of the utmost importance. I cannot change the coach. I cannot change the teacher. And in fact, there are really very few people I can change. Probably no one but myself. I do not always know what is best, nor is it realistic to attempt to make things perfect. Meditation for today. Help me to give others permission to be different from me. Today I will remember my serenity comes from knowing it is okay if it is not my will. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. June 8th. Workplace roles. To get help, I would manipulate my coworkers by playing a role, such as being overly nice, being the victim, or volunteering to do something for them. BRB, page 420. We pandered to others at work, just as we had in our abusive families. Sometimes we didn't even know we were doing it until it was too late, and then we had to live with the consequences of having given away our power. This was a familiar scenario. We were recreating our childhoods. As we find our voice in ACA, we are no longer satisfied to play the same roles we've been used to. Even though we are sometimes afraid of what comes next, we are learning to walk into the unknown one day at a time. Whether or not our path is the same as others in our meetings, we are united in our common bond, our desire to heal with the help of the 12 steps. They give us a structure for living that we never had before. We begin to carry the steps in the program with us to work where people can find themselves in meetings without even knowing it. We are setting boundaries and approach situations calmly and directly. As we uncover triggers that can still be activated, we work with our fellow travelers to discover their roots so that we no longer act out. We teach others how to treat us in a far different way than we have before. The affirmation reads, "On this day, I choose to be my true self with everyone I come in contact with." This is DHB Recovery Network. Please share, subscribe, like, and most of all, be the you that you are created to be, one day at a time. And remember that you are not alone.